Hear me roar like a fucking gigantobantosaurus, whatever the latest nonsense dinosaur that they've pulled out of the fucking history of dinosaurs and decided, you know what the new dinosaur villain is? I'm just gonna jump to the end. What the fuck was with the dinosaur wrestle pit?
Okay, so we haven't even...
I'm just angry. There was a dinosaur wrestle pit, Gavin. And you know what? How awesome do those words go together?
Dinosaur wrestle pit.
A dinosaur tag team takes down a dinosaur. And it was shit.
But that's the thing with
shit.
All of the movies that end with a, here's a cool dinosaur, right? Another cool dinosaur, but...
It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. So won't you lend an ear?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Meandering Movie Podcast. This week, we're going to be talking about the Jurassic Park / World franchises because Jurassic World Dominion just came out, and very handily, less than an hour ago, Gary just saw Jurassic World Dominion. Gary, what did you think of Jurassic World Dominion?
So I know you've heard the cold open now, and normally we do a cold open where we talk about something stupid and it's funny.
Gary didn't want to do that this week.
So angry about what I've just witnessed. Where do we want to? Do we want to start with what didn't make sense? Because I can start with what didn't make sense before going into things that I absolutely despised. Or do we want to start with what I liked? Like finding the small slivers in a shit storm.
I'll start off with an easy question, like a softball. Did you like the movie?
Fucking absolutely not.
Okay, good.
Absolutely not.
Now, when it comes to likes compared to dislikes...
So, again, slivers.
Little moments of light.
Not even gold, not even silver. Slivers of copper, bronze.
Okay.
In a tornado of piss.
I mean... I couldn't name more than two things that I liked in the movie.
I was going to say none. I can't remember. I just walked out of it, and I'm like, where are even the slivers? Where are even the good moments? The actor who was in Archive 81, the new Jeff Goldblum character.
There's a new Jeff Goldblum character?
Well, you know how they've introduced so there's a new Laura Dern, who is Bryce Dallas Howard. Yeah, there's a new Sam Neill in
I guess he's Chris Pratt, yeah.
And then Jeff Goldblum, de facto, ends up being the new...
the guy who's like... Is he a bad guy? He's not...
Ramsey something. Yeah.
Okay.
I liked his performance. I didn't like the character necessarily, but I thought he was okay.
The big overarching problem is, if you look at the original Jurassic Park, they give you Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum, and then you've also got like Sam Jackson, and you've got...
You got two kids. You got a good supporting cast with John Hammond, Sam Jackson, Nyman, and from Seinfeld,
Richard Attenborough. It's like you've got all these characters who have definable characteristics. It's like you look at Sam Neill, he's just like, he doesn't like the kids, he doesn't like this idea, but he's going to come along. You've got Laura Dern, she's kind of like, she's more forward thinking and excited about it. And of course, and you've got Jeff Goldblum, who's the philosophical, like, what the fuck are you doing?
A bit of comic relief, some foil to Sam Neill's straight man.
Richard Attenborough's this kind of blind, he's blinded by his own hubris. Then you cut to the Jurassic World movies. What is Chris Pratt's character?
Dinosaur wrangler.
He puts his hand up, and I swear to God, if you put his hand up in front of one more fucking dinosaur, he puts his hand up in front of a dinosaur and goes, "Easy girl." That's his character.
It's also funny, right at the end of the film, that they've already decided that they're recasting Chris Pratt's character with the new that clone girl, because there was the bit with, right, we're going to triangulate and get the dinosaur calmed down.
Oh,
we'll all put our hands up and then fan out. And I was like, what the fuck is this? What are you... Like, the thing is, in the first Jurassic World movie, Chris Pratt goes up against a pack of 5 raptors, and he puts his hand up, and he's like, back.
Yeah.
He can dominate 5 fully grown raptors. It's cool. It's a cool bit in the first Jurassic World. And then in this one, a baby raptor needs 3 people to fucking deal with it. A teeny tiny little cute, adorable thing.
Blue's little baby...
Oh, fucking hell. And like my biggest gripe in all of this, my biggest fucking problem is Jurassic Park is Nass is here. Sorry, I'm going to look at... you can't know I'm looking at Nass, but hi, Nass. My biggest problem in all of this is in Jurassic Park, the villain is capitalism, but dinosaurs are scary. They are in the first film. The raptors are these genuinely creepy horror movie-esque.
Yeah.
Like seen in the shadows before they burst out and they scare the fuck out of the kids, and it's awesome. They're terrifying.
Like the introduction to the Velociraptor in the first one is just you don't see it, you just see the aftermath of what they can do.
The T-Rex, the introduction to the T-Rex in the first one was that guy getting
Legendary.
sucked into the fucking like the very first time you see any dinosaur in the no, you see a dinosaur. The first death you get is that guy getting yanked in the rain in the first opening 5 minutes of
by
Jurassic
the
Park.
Velociraptor, yeah.
It's fucking awesome. That is one of the coolest. It
It's one
genuinely
of the best openings
horrifies
to a
me.
movie. Yeah.
And then the T-Rex is just this fucking
Behemoth.
yeah, this megalith of like power. And now I've just come out of it, and the T-Rex is tiny. He seems so insignificant in the grand scope of the films, and because they made him a hero, quote unquote, in Jurassic Park 2, you know, he kind of ends up being the he's a good guy.
I guess not. In Jurassic Park 3, they're like, oh, we've got an even bigger dinosaur now. We've got the Spinosaurus.
Spinosaurus.
So we take that, and in Jurassic World, it's just like they make him the hero dinosaur. Where the movie ends with him going, he comes to fight the big,
and then the raptors and the T-Rex fight the fucking
which is just
what was that thing called? The Indominus Rex. And you know what? Messi, I'm just on a fucking tirade. At least the Indominus fucking stupid named Rex was a cool idea. At least, and the whole premise of that film.
An idea.
Well, no, but at least the premise is there. At least the premise is dinosaurs are boring, right? We get it. We've done 3 Jurassic Park and it was kind of this weird meta commentary. We've done 3 Jurassic Park films, and people have been getting more and more bored of Jurassic Parks because you can't trump the first film. Like, we get it. So Jurassic World, brand new dinosaur, the Indominus Rex, and it's terrifying. It's this mix of raptor and fucking T-Rex and this and that and the fucking next thing, and it's like it's terrifying. And it's this whole new, and it can go invisible, and it's savage, cool. And then we're trying to make it interesting again. And then this one, it's like dinosaurs live in the real world, cool. So that's going to be a real impact in this whole film, and that's going to be what the film's about. People dealing with I think I counted 2 people getting killed by dinosaurs in this film.
Is it the way
one's a villain and one's a guy on a scooter who is surrounded by 2 T-Rexes or something. They're like mini T-Rexes. Yeah. But he's just like on a scooter, just looking at them, and then gets eaten. But it's not scary. Nothing's scary. Sorry, Gavin. The jump fights in this film. The jump fights in this film are pretty much kept to the raptors and then those weird turtle things in the sewer, whatever the fuck they are.
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
Weird scene. But the jump fights are kept to the raptors, but this whole film, it kind of shows you that the raptors are the good guys. So why are you jump fighting me with like the snapping jaws of what you are telling me is the fucking... Like, I meant to care about?
Because they have no idea what they're doing.
Oh, it's a fucking shit show, man.
There's
no good. There's no good. Going back to the original question again, there's no good points in this film. It's just shit and fucking awful shit. The plot's bad. I don't care about the fucking locusts.
There is no plot. The plot is
bugs.
We need to get the girl back, and bugs are eating all of the food or something.
It's dumb as hell.
But the whole lead up to this movie before it came out was dinosaurs are now out there in the real world. A T-Rex and a lion can now coexist. And in this movie goes, cool, we don't know what to do with that idea, so we're just going to go back to a Jurassic Park.
We're going to do Jurassic Park again.
Yeah,
we're doing it again. I know we've done it 5 times up to this point, but
we've got another Jurassic Park in the mountains. You're like, all right, cool, so we're not doing the dinosaurs in the real world. Like, no, we're not doing that. And then the movie ends with, they just learned to get on. You're like, wow, you made no fucking effort.
Well, no, it does. It's even worse than that. It's like, it's like the final moments of the film is like, oh, now the dinosaurs live kind of coexisting with us. Cool. Except the ones that are in the Jurassic Park, they're going to be left to their own devices. You remember at the end of Jurassic World, the first one, where they're living on the island comfortably? Yeah, it's that again.
But now in a mountain.
Also, like, we're in a snowy mountain. All right, cool. A new setting. Snowy mountains. Right, cool. We're in the valley. Oh, the valley's just a jungle. Like every other fucking movie. Oh, man. It's boggling.
Because you have the scene in Malta, which is...
Is that the sand? I thought it was Morocco.
No, it's Malta.
I'm so switched off, man. I was trying to remember things.
The movie, like...
I'm just out of it.
You, like, 40 minutes ago, you were in that movie? I saw it like 2 weeks ago as of recording this with Audio Boy. But it's like, I went into it knowing what to expect. Because with the first Jurassic World, it was the worst movie I saw that year because, like everyone, I loved Jurassic Park as a kid. I even liked The Lost World. I can give Jurassic Park 3 a pass. Joe Johnson gave that a go. But Jurassic World was just insulting on levels that just, like, it just bordered on, like, do you hate this franchise and you want to like annoy me? So then I never saw the second one in the cinema because I was like, fuck this. So I watched it on Netflix at one point during the lockdown. I went, holy fuck, this is bad. Not as bad as the first one, I feel. Because the second act of that film is a different film and a horror movie.
It's stupid as fuck, but it's
dumb, but it's different. Instead of being in an island or something, it's like, we're in a mansion and here's a horror, like...
I can give you
that's
that.
interesting. And then with this one...
It's a mansion in a jungly area, though.
It's true.
Let's not take the jungles out of Jurassic Park,
The dinosaurs will wander off into the jungle. God forbid they're not in the fucking jungle. And then with this one, like, the whole, like, Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern are coming back. I'm like, oh, well, it's like the episode we did of...
Sam Neill that is the most phoned-in performance in a AAA movie that I have seen in years.
Can you blame him, though? Because...
it's mental.
Because this Jurassic World Dominion is 2 movies. It's the new cast, your Chris Pratt, your Bryce Dallas Howard, trying to save the little girl, and they're going on this Jason Bourne like action adventure where they're like jumping across rooftops and having shootouts. And you're just like, and it's just
and that's another huge problem with the film is that you're right, like that whole chunk of the film, which is just we're a kind of bland, set in a sandy town, fighting on rooftops and shooting guns at each other. I don't need that. I have that. I have that a million times over. I've got Jason Bourne. I've got
watch
fucking
Gemini Man with with Will Smith and shit. Like,
and the other thing is like they had the cast all lined up. They had Justice Smith and they had is it Nick from New Girl in the first one?
Yeah, he was in the
they
first
had that
one,
like mini semblance of a cast that they were like, we're gonna bring, in the Jurassic World, the second one, what the fuck it was called,
Fallen Kingdom.
Like they all kind of come back, and then they're just gone in this one. And Justice Smith explains, "Oh yeah, they all get picked up for various jobs. Anyway, I'm out. I'm not doing it."
Yeah, he fucks off the CIA, and then just like
so he's in it for the first 5 minutes. Like it's just if you can't hold down a continuous cast, you clearly have a problem.
Well, the problem they've never had an idea of what to do. Colin Trevorrow came in because Steven Spielberg was like, "Oh, I liked this movie, safety not guaranteed. I want to give him the reins to the franchise this time." Colin Trevorrow's a dog shit director and an even worse writer. He had no idea what to do, so he just did Jurassic Park again, but like you were saying, trying to make commentary of like capitalism, blah blah.
Yeah.
But here's a bigger dinosaur, and it falls apart. The second one is we're gonna do a horror film, but we need. How do we get the dinosaurs off the island? We'll fucking blow it up, and then we'll just put them in a boat, chuck them in a mansion. This one, they're just like, let's do half a Jason Bourne movie and half a Bond movie from the 60s, and then try and blend that together.
It's a weird spy, it's kind of got weird spy vibes.
Yeah, because you got Sam Neill and Laura Dern.
But then also crowbar in the Jurassic Park theme.
Then you've got the dinosaurs and the morality and the capitalism and all this kind of stuff, and you're just like, oh my god, this is a headache of just like so many ideas that don't work, that collide with each other, and just look... here's the thing I was talking to when I saw it with Audio Boy, is... the visual effects don't even look that good. Yeah, and I'm like, how does a movie like Jurassic Park, which came out in 1992, which kind of set off this whole CGI kind of like new experience, look better than a movie that came out in 2022 that has billions of dollars behind it in terms of like franchising money? And like the prosthetic dinosaurs, when they do appear, you can tell they're prosthetics, not because they look very good actually, but it's because they're so wooden. They're badly puppeted.
They don't have like life to them. It's just like it's like the little baby raptor pops up and goes, burr, burr, and it like just straight faces two different
like
ways.
An animatronic you would see at like a Disney or a Universal ride,
and then switches to this like fully fluid CGI thing, and I think even then it just rips you out of the immersion because you're like, wait, what the fuck just happened to that little baby dinosaur puppet?
I also feel it's more example because Colin Trevorrow did the first one and now the third one. Just don't let him near movies anymore. Like that man needs to go like sell ice cream or something because he's not a filmmaker.
I've calmed down slightly. Let me think. Did I like anything? Like genuinely asking, did I like anything?
So let's work our way through the film. So we've got...
I don't think I did.
Did you? I think obviously the Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard side of the film with the little clone girl, all of that is dog shit. Mm-hmm. Because you have no characters, you have empty action, and you just have just big dumb like... Hey,
and it's doing that thing where it's like, remember in the second film when we introduced the fact that John Hammond didn't just start Jurassic Park from the original Jurassic Park. He actually had a silent partner that's never been mentioned up until the fifth movie. Because it's not even mentioned in the fourth brand new Jurassic World films. It's only mentioned in the sequel to the reboot. Oh, by the way, John Hammond had a secret partner. We've never spoke about him before. And also he cloned a human.
He had a daughter, she died, so he cloned her. And now it's still the most mental thing from the second movie, where she's like, the dinosaurs are just like me because they're clones too. And she does this kind of like, and then she presses the button and releases the fucking dinosaurs into the world. And you're just like, what are you doing?
So we've got that whole thread of her like, oh, am I a human? Or like, and she's going through the whole process of like, I'm not even a real person. I'm like a clone baby.
Who is my mother? What am I?
God. Yeah, and it's such a weird thread for that to follow in the end, where she finally comes to terms with it. Not because she's like, oh, you know what? I was made and I have a surrogate parent who loves and cares for me. I now feel good about myself because I've seen that I was not just grown in a test tube, but I was grown in a belly. So I'm okay now. That's it. That's my arc.
Also, the person
I'm okay with having a surrogate parent because I've seen that I actually came out of a vagina rather than anything else.
It's like I plopped out of a vagina, so I'm more human than the dinosaurs because they just came out of like
eggs.
Yeah. It's like what?
It's vagina. Vagina. It's vagina.
It's vagina.
It's crazy. Sorry. So yeah. So that is. You're right.
So you got that whole part of the movie.
So yeah. So what I was saying with the point I brought that, the reason I kind of went on that thread is because the reason I don't care about it is because it doesn't mean anything because you've just made it up in the last film.
Yeah.
You've thrown a bunch of exposition at me and been like, oh, but you care, right? Because it's tied to John Hammond. No, I don't care. I don't care because it's not tied to John Hammond because you can't just you can't just retcon massive fucking pieces of information to make this mental narrative work. It doesn't matter.
The whole Jurassic World set of films have been, which is, if we tie this really dumb thing back to something in the original, people might let it slide.
BD Wong was the original tie. They were like, oh, we got BD Wong, so
Yeah.
you care, right? Why would I care about BD Wong? He wasn't even that important in the first Jurassic Park
He was in
film.
the movie for like 40 seconds.
Oh, fuck, sorry. This was going to go into my like things that just didn't make sense. When BD Wong turns up at the fucking final act, at the final end of the final act of this film, and Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern, and Sam Neill are like, I remember you. No, you fucking don't.
Not a chance.
You don't remember this random fucking scientist was like, we grew the eggs, but all the dinosaurs are male, so they can't reproduce. And all the fucking original actors are like, in the first film, are like, all right, nice one. John Hammond, can we go see the fucking dinosaurs? They give him no fucking ilk in the first film. So no, bullshit. I'm calling crap on the fact that all three of them remember. Fine if Sam Neill was like, don't I know you? Like, you know what I mean?
I could see like Laura Dern's character being like, oh,
Laura Dern
she
would have made
been
more
like,
sense.
oh yeah, like I had a wee chat with you. You were right. Jeff Goldblum and Sam Neill definitely, his character didn't give a fuck about anyone.
Yeah.
And Jeff Goldblum was high off his face trying to shag Laura Dern. So he definitely didn't remember BD Wong. So all these people, yeah, like, now I'm getting annoyed. And I wasn't annoyed before. It's all these things of just like,
I'm getting hot.
oh, Gary's taking his shirt off now. Gary, cover your eyes, don't look. Yeah, it's just, they do it earlier because the character who's the big bad guy in this movie,
the new Nyman, the new fat guy from Jurassic Park, who goes through the same death process.
Well, yeah, because he's the character from the original Jurassic Park who gives Newman the little canister thing.
Oh, I was wondering why they brought that back in.
That's who he is. He's the guy because he was trying to set
That's
up.
actually him.
That's that. Yeah, they've recast the actor because the actor from the first one did some nonce activity. So he disappeared, obviously. But they recast the actor to play that same character from the first Jurassic World.
Right. So
that's why he's got the canister, and that's why he dies the way that Nedry dies.
By the end of the film, I genuinely was not. I was waiting, and I was surprised this didn't happen. But I honestly thought he was going to look at those fan neck dinosaurs and about to get spat on and go, not again. And I genuinely thought they were going to try and be like, it's him. He's lost weight, but it's Nyman from Seinfeld from the first Jurassic. But what the fuck's the guy?
Nedry.
Huh?
Dennis Nedry?
Yeah, I call him Sorry, all I can think of is...
Thinking of Newman from Seinfeld?
Newman. Why do I call him Nyman?
I don't know.
I did this in the last time we talked about Jurassic Park.
You do this every time we talk about anything, is you just make up a name and run with it. And I just have to try and work around
Newman,
it.
yeah,
But
Newman.
Did you also notice that when they have the guy who's now works for the CIA and helps get them the information...
Justice Smith's character.
He sits next to a person who looks just like Dennis Nedry. It's really weird. They cast a person who just looks like that.
Oh, fuck yeah, actually. He's like,
I was like,
what comes next? Oh, fire, rain, apocalypse shit. Yeah, makes that joke.
I was like, why?
Right, we're off track. Where were we in the chronology of the film?
Like the whole of these
we just keep
films-
getting angry about things.
Yeah, then we go off in tangents. This is the Meandering Movie Podcast.
Right. So, Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, clone kid, Don't care.
They're on an action film. They're in
an action
they're in Jason
film, like Jason Bourne
And they're
spy trying to like
globe-trotting from like Canada to Malta to then they find the lady who flies the plane.
Yeah.
So they
I
get
liked
on
her character.
Was there a character?
She flies a plane. She's maybe a lesbian. I liked her.
Wow. Okay.
Well, like
that's we're scraping the bottom of the barrel at this
But
point.
I mean, she was just, I don't know. I suppose it's because like a strong female character and anything who's like looks like she could bench press me. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like,
that's just
I
you.
like this character.
You're like,
Bring her back.
I want to spend the night alone in the plane with her.
Yeah, probably. I'm not gonna deny it. But it's,
they fly over the island. The plane gets.
No, you're way at the end. We need to go through this. You've jumped ahead.
I'm working through there. So they go from Malta.
All right, but wait. You got to do the Malta part where they fight villains number 1 and 2. So if the main villain is fake Newman,
like I was gonna say Tim Cook knockoff. Like
I was gonna say Steve Jobs dinosaur.
But he looks like
wanker.
Tim Cook from like Apple.
Yeah. So villain 1 is evil bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Made very clear he's evil. The first time we see him, they're standing there with their guns, and the camera zooms in on this one with like scraggly hair. I was surprised he wasn't played by Walter Goggins, to be perfectly honest. Scraggly hair, he looks dirty, and if that wasn't enough, that he's watching Chris Pratt ominously, the soundtrack swells to this.
Doesn't he also?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I think, and I can't be sure about this because I think Audio Boy was talking about it. He has a tattoo of the original Jurassic Park logo on his cheek, but it's got like a cross through it. I'm not 100% on this. I don't know if this is the case, but if that is the case, that is the dumbest thing that has ever happened in a movie ever.
Just giving him an eye patch. So villain 1,
an eye patch and a hook, and he goes, "Arr, I'm gonna get that girl."
So Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and the clone girl are fighting villain 1. They go to Malta, where you then meet villain 2, Asian woman in white jumpsuit,
who controls these different raptory dinosaurs.
They're the dinosaurs from the second Jurassic World, right? It's the same. Oh, you point the laser gun.
You point the laser, and then they attack.
So it's 4 of them. The stupid fucking part of this though is she's like, oh, the new, press the laser, boop boop, and she tags 4 people. The dinosaurs kill them. She then chases Bryce Dallas Howard into some random apartment in the fucking middle of Malta. And she's like, oh, you used the dinosaur thing on me. Well, I've got this. And points a laser at Bryce Dallas Howard. Again, nowhere near the original spot where the 4 dinosaurs were. Points a fucking laser at Bryce Dallas Howard. And a fucking raptor appears, just pops out of nowhere and starts attacking. I'm like, wait. So the laser isn't just like you point the laser near the dinosaurs and they go on. You point a laser and a dinosaur just spawns in.
Yeah, I was
just
gonna
appears
say,
out of fucking nowhere.
Its brain just goes, "There's a laser somewhere," and then it starts running. Just like,
and then same thing. Actually, that happens again once. Evil Asian woman in a white jumpsuit gets apprehended by another character brought in from the first Jurassic World film.
Yeah, he was in the first one.
Weirdly tied in.
He was Owen. Oh, Owen is the name of Chris Pratt's character.
Owen Grady. So he apprehends her and she manages to point another laser at Chris Pratt. 2 more dinosaurs spawn out of nowhere and chase Chris Pratt. Cue motorcycle. Now we'll get into that in a second. My huge gripe, and it was the same gripe I had with Jurassic World 2, is if you have the dexterity to point a laser at someone and press the trigger, which she does, 1, 2, 3, 4, Bryce Dallas Howard, then Chris Pratt on a motorcycle.
She's got incredible aim.
7 targets she pinpoints with. Give her a pistol.
Give her a fucking gun with.
Give her a gun. She would have done a better job, because in the film it's like, look how scary it is. The dinosaurs are chasing Chris Pratt. He does escape. So the film proves that it's the dumbest fucking weapon. Yes. If she had a gun, Chris Pratt would be dead. She would have gone bang. He's off his bike. I shot him.
That's that problem over with. But anyway, the girl's gonna continue to be sent to this lab now, and they won't get saved.
Oh, and then the dinosaur fight pit. That's how villain 1 meets his end. He gets chomped in a dinosaur fight pit.
Yeah, the dinosaur fight pit, which is...
This is the crappy death.
Then they do the whole...
motorcycle chase scene.
Then they do a Fast and Furious like motorbike onto the back of the plane. So this movie is trying to be Jason Bourne, James Bond, Fast and Furious. There's going to be something else in there.
Oh, there'll be some more. We'll get to them.
So they get on the plane and then they fly off to big secret base.
And that's when it becomes real James Bond spy.
So yeah, then on the other hand, you have the original characters from the original movie who are just like, oh, Jeff Goldblum's in this place, and
So and their story's so boring. Like they get but they get embroiled into the whole like clone, like, oh, we got to help the clone girl, and oh, actually, wait, we've stumbled into a much bigger conspiracy because their story is, hi, Alan Grant, Sam Neill. I'm Laura Dern. We need to go in and we need to expose them by getting a tiny piece of bug DNA.
yeah,
And also, Ian Malcolm's there, so we can go chat to him. But
and
that's
he's able to get us into the big secret base.
but that's a whole plan, and I'm going to blow the whistle by selling it to the New York Times. Because once they get wrapped up in fighting dinosaurs again, I was kind of like, wait, what are they doing again? And at the end, it reminds you, Laura Dern's like, I've got the DNA sample, I can sell this to my man at the Times. It's like, wait, that was your entire plot? That was your entire story? Get a DNA sample and sell it to a paper?
for 2.5 hours.
2.5? What? They just stumble into the rest of it.
Yeah, because you've got, I mean, the introduction of these. What kind of bugs are they? Like locusts. So you got these big,
massive locusts.
You got these locusts that
That
are
was
like,
the scariest bit of the film.
yeah, when those locusts show up and like you've got the two wee kids in the barn
Screaming.
just but don't worry, they had a spade and a bucket, so those locusts didn't stand a chance. But they're just like ah, and I was really hoping for a cut because Laura Dern shows up and I wanted like
Another
two wee body
screaming.
bags to just get rolled out of the barn. But then her thing is like, oh, they're mass engineering these locusts to eat the crops that aren't made by them, so they're creating a food shortage, so people have to buy their food.
But the locusts are out of control, and they've mutated so far that now biosyn are not. The food shortage is going to go further than what they initially intended, and will actually be the end of the world,
end of the human race.
Um,
I'm glad you have seen it so recently. 'Cause
I've
you
got
can
it
remember
fresh.
so many more, because it's been 2 weeks for me, and a lot of it's faded.
Nonsense point number 10 at this fucking point. I don't know, whatever count we're on. BD Wong's plan to stop the locust swarms is he knows that the clone girl had her entire DNA changed by some kind of cell thing, and he's like, oh, using that technology, I can change an entire locust swarm.
Yeah.
That's not how locust swarms work. A human body and a locust swarm are two different things.
Yeah,
because a locust
very
swarm
different.
is made up of many single bugs.
Yes.
You change all the cells in one of those bugs, the entire locust swarm will be unchanged.
Yeah, there'll be
That's not
one
how...
locust that's different.
One locust that is
and then a
100%
whole
different.
Fucking swarm of
99.9% of a locust swarm that is the same as it was
What was the
before.
What was the one locust supposed to do? Like inseminate its new DNA into the rest
know,
of them?
man.
Like,
and if you you take that thread and just let's go right to the fucking end. So if the science behind it is, oh, if I change that one locust 100%, it will change the entire swarm. You're not changing the cells. You've created some kind of airborne toxin, I guess, pathogen. So fuck knows what. So Jurassic World 7, Jurassic World 4, Jurassic Park 7, whatever the fucking numbering system we're going by, is just going to be like, all right, well, I released dinosaur DNA into the world, and now we're fighting
DNA.
Dino DNA. Now we're fighting lizard men. I'm there for that, though.
I mean, that was originally
That's the
like,
original.
there was-
You know what? Just give me it. At this point, stop giving me boring shit. Give me the most mad fucking film you could possibly get.
I mean-
BD Wong releases some kind of dinosaur pathogen to, I don't know, make more dinosaurs out of the thin air. Fuck it. Why? Who cares?
If you think
at
of
this
it-
point,
at
write
this
any
point,
old bollocks down.
We've had 6 movies in this franchise, and 5 of them have revolved around characters going to an island, getting into danger with dinosaurs, but then getting off the island.
Yep.
The only one that didn't was Fallen Kingdom, where it's like the island blew up, so we just went to a mansion. So at this point,
But they're still trying to contain the dinosaurs
That's
in
right,
that
yeah.
one.
so
That's-
at this point, just get BD Wong to meld a dinosaur and a human, and let's go off on that. And then,
That's brand new world.
And Jeff-
Jurassic Universe 1.
Yeah.
A brand new world.
And have-
BD Wong has fucked a dinosaur, and with his enhanced
Consensually.
dino DNA sperm, he's created a swarm of dino children, and they are gonna impregnate everyone and take over the world. And Chris Pratt and Bryce, no fuck, we need new.
they're not hot anymore. We need someone.
who's
We want
like
like Timothy Chalamet and
Timothy Chalamet and Karen Gillan.
Yeah, get those two in.
Bollocks to it.
They're the
Why
new.
not?
They're the new young hip.
They're the
like-
new guys,
And then
they
Jeff
have to
Goldblum will come
fight-
in the second movie to be like, you shouldn't have done that. That's morally wrong. And then-
Jeff Goldblum's in a wheelchair by this point. He's
Oh, yeah.
old as shit.
but he still fucks like a
Still
like a
fucks-
dog.
Like I like that weird joke. Sorry, they're at the end of Jurassic World again. That weird joke where the the new Jeff Goldblum looks across at him and he's like, oh, what? Oh, my button's undone, and he does a button up. Fuck off.
But I also
just fuck off.
The best. Here's the
stop throwing back to things that
that's
are.
all they have to do at
I
this
know,
point.
it's mad. It's mad.
This whole movie is just like,
so sad.
hey, do you remember the characters from the first one? They're all back, and they're gonna say all the things you remember. Like they're gonna
do it.
They're gonna do all the like. Here's the thing that I love is apparently those three characters, since the first Jurassic Park, have never updated their dress code because Jeff Goldblum dresses exactly how he dresses in the first Jurassic
leather
Park.
pants and a leather jacket with a black shirt.
Exactly the same.
Laura Dern is wearing kind of hippie-ish. Maybe see her on a like spirit journey in a South African jungle. Still wearing that exact same getup. And Sam Neill, knock off Indiana Jones.
Knock off and yep.
Oh, why did they do it Indiana Jones
They did
joke
the
with the
hat
hat?
thing.
What was the point?
Leave
what was
the
the point
hat.
of that? I can't leave the hat. Oh, I need my hat. Grab the fucking
Because you know
weird
that
snap and
character
tail
being
thing.
famous for having his hat. Like it's
Why I know. Get a new hat, Sam Neill. You don't need to fucking lose your hand to this. Are you crazy?
I also
Why is Sam Neill not terrified of dinosaurs anymore? Because remember in the first Jurassic Park, he's telling everyone raptors are fucking terrifying, right? They'll gut you like a fucking kipper with look at this claw, it's fucking crazy. And now he's just like, oh, dinosaurs there.
because then
Gonna grab my hat out of there. Don't worry about it. I'm not
then
scared
you got
of
like
these.
Jurassic Park 3 where he's just like, I'm not fucking going back to the island. And then they're like, but we'll give you a bunch of cash. And he goes, cool, let's go back to the island. And I'm like, that's all it took for that. And in this one, it's just Laura Dern's like, I need your help. And he's like, I'm not the guy for this. It makes no sense that you're asking me. You need like a special forces guy who's good at like.
But I trust you, Sam Neill. Will you come with me? I guess so, because Sam Neill's fucking Alan Grant's entire character arc is I have been alone forever and I want to bang Laura Dern's character, so I guess I'll come with you in the off chance that you will have sex with me. He's an incel. He's a dinosaur loving incel.
100%.
It's mad.
And
he's portrayed like a hero, Ness. It's fucking madness.
I hate what they did to his character. We're like in the first one, he's just like he's a guy who loves dinosaurs and he loves the study of the bones and all.
He was an archaeologist.
He's an archaeologist.
He was a cool
He
guy.
loves this stuff. And this one, it's just like I'm lonely and I want to get my hole. And like, oh, cool, great.
Does he? At one point, he departs from dinosaur knowledge, but I swear to God, I'm just out of it. And I think this happened. I swear he's like, wait a minute, it's blah, blah, blah dinosaur. But it's the same dialogue I think Chris Pratt's just delivered to a different character a scene earlier. And I was like, why? What? Oh, and... the bit where they fight the Megasaurus, whatever the fuck it's called. It's the new big T-Rex. And they throw back to the scene where the two kids are hiding from the T-Rex with the car. The car's upturned, and they even do the teeth through the window. And it's like, I get what you're doing here. But then it pans out, and you see the full scene emerge. You can't have a cast of 8 people pretending to be 2 very small, scared children because it's fucking stupid, and it's so comical looking and dumb as shit.
Yeah, when the two groups finally I say finally as if I wanted it. When the two groups, unfortunately and inevitably come together, and they're all standing in a line in front of the big dinosaur, you're just like, this looks nonsense.
It's ridiculous.
You've got 8 adults just standing there going like, oh,
Nobody
no.
move.
And then, when they're both
Oh, no, now run.
I remember that line from a previous one, nobody move, we're all going to say it now.
Sam Neill and Chris Pratt delivered at the same time. It's
Do you know
amazing.
what that made me think of? It made me think of that. It should never make you think of this. No movie should ever make you think of this. But it made me think of the Paul Feig Ghostbusters movie, where they it's Kate McKinnon and the other, I can't remember.
Kristen Bell?
No, the other one.
Melissa McCarthy?
Melissa McCarthy. It's those two, and they both try to deliver that classic Ghostbusters line, but they fuck it up. That's what it made my brain flash to. And if I'm watching any movie and it makes me think of Paul Feig's 2016 Ghostbusters, you've failed at filmmaking.
The other reason it fucking absolutely sucks ass, that entire sequence. So they do the whole, we're all terrified of the giant dinosaur, right? Cool. And then they do all the car stuff, and 8 of them are... Nash, you have to see this. 8 of them are working around the car. So you know in the first Jurassic Park when the T-Rex is here, and there's the car in the middle, and the 2 kids are working their way round at the same time, and it's like, oh, it's super fucking tense. It's that scene with 8 adults doing the exact same thing.
And they're...
the exact same thing. And it's played not even comically. It's not like tongue-in-cheek. It's super fucking straight. It's trying to be scary. And it's just not. You can't have 8 adults doing that. It doesn't
And
make
also,
any
the other
sense.
problem is the car's not long enough for all of them
Yeah,
to
so
hide.
fucking 4 of them around the corner. They're super close to
there's
the
just a point
dinosaur.
where you see this, and the dinosaur can clearly just see Jeff Goldblum because he's just sticking out, just going like, "Well, this is awkward. Don't see me." Like the movie needs you to not see me. So,
So it's dumb as hell, right? And then they will have to get up into some control tower or something. I don't fucking know.
oh, it takes them so long
Takes them
because
so
there
long.
are 8
There's
of them.
There's 8 of them. There's a
So
ladder.
many.
And they get up, and they eventually, all of them get up into this control tower, and they're like, "Oh, we made it." And Chris Pratt's like, "Well, that was scary," or some other fucking one-liner quip. Then the dinosaur bursts its head through the window, and it's like, "Ah!" And you're like, "All right, they're going to be scared of it." And then the movie's just like, you know what? They don't need to be scared of it anymore. There are 8 of them, and they just all take fucking licks at this dinosaur
They
head.
just fucking lay into
It's like, Chris Pratt pulls out the tiniest little knife, and he's like, "Ah!" and starts jabbing it with his fucking
They
knife.
get like a wee taser thing, and
Yeah,
they're putting
they
it in the
taser
eye.
it, and all of them are just like punching the dinosaur's nose. It's like,
And
why?
then after a while, you're just like, I kind of feel bad for the dinosaur. You're just like, this is bullying. Are you going to take its lunch money next and just like fucking give it a terrible nickname?
So again, the film just doesn't know what it wants to do. It doesn't know if it wants the dinosaurs to be terrifying. It doesn't know if it wants the heroes to be the good guys, the humans. You know what I mean? It's just lost its entire.
And because there's
Purpose.
so many of them, and they're all like doubles of each other. Everyone has to have like a line, and
Yeah.
it just you kind of sit there and go like, this scene is now 5 minutes longer. It needs to be because everyone has to have a line.
They're all getting their bits in. When you know what I was saying at the beginning, like, and they match up, and you're like, oh, do they all match up? They then send all the characters off in their their pairings.
Yeah, you get-
So Sam Neill, Chris Pratt, and the new the clone girl all go and do an Alan
They all
Grant
go hold
thing.
their hand up thing.
Laura Dern and Bryce Dallas go and do
They turn the power back
turn
on.
the power back
from
on.
the
But the
first
fact that they
draft.
send, and then new Ramsey, I need to know that actor's name because I actually really liked him in Archive 81, and Jeff Goldblum are off doing, what the fuck do they even do at that
They
point?
stay in the
Oh, they're
control
the
room.
map guy. They're the guy
Yeah,
in the chair.
these
They're
are
the
maps,
ones.
And Jeff Goldblum's like giving bad directions, and he's given like because he did the map thing in the first Jurassic. Remember the first Jurassic Park when all those characters did those things?
Yeah.
Do you want to watch them do it again, but worse? Why
with
not? In
bonus
Jurassic
people?
World Dominion in theaters now.
Oh, it's just bad.
It's like,
It's so
why?
bad.
I mean, the best thing to come from that scene is Jeff Goldblum delivers a line, Jurassic World wasn't for me. And he just shits in the first Jurassic World movie. Because like, when I saw it with Audio Boy, we were just sitting there crying with laughter when he just went, Jurassic World, no, didn't like it.
Didn't
And I'm
like it. Not good.
You're right, Jeff Goldblum.
Let me think. While you're looking up that guy's name, let me think.
Mamadou Athie.
Mamadou Athie. He's good. I liked his performance. But again, just the next Jeff Gold, the next Ian Malcolm.
Here's something
If they do another Jurassic Park, we're going to have.
God, please no.
They're gonna fucking
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's made so much money. I saw Lightyear last night. Very slight aside. It's fine. It's a kids film. It feels like a kids film. And from Disney Pixar, I was a bit disappointed because it feels.
I bet.
I have no interest on watching that again. Like, I watched Turning Red over like on Disney Plus.
Okay,
I
yeah.
really liked it. I thought it was like a lot to love. And Pixar films, Soul, Inside Out, they're these staples where anytime I fancy having like an emotional bit of catharsis, I'm like, I'll get a Pixar film on because I know I'm in for a
It's
treat.
going to give you a wee...
Lightyear's fine. It feels like Interstellar for kids.
When the trailer...
Which is crazy, but that's the whole film.
When the trailer came out, I was just like, I don't see a reason
Well,
for this.
And you know what the thing is? You remember the first trailer with Ziggy Stardust, like, there's a star man, and then like fucking echoed out. I liked that first. I thought that first trailer oozed style, and I was like, you know what?
Something atmospheric.
I was like, if the whole film's gonna kind of like, it's about Buzz Lightyear, but it's doing it's like very personalized. I'm down for it. It's not. It's not that at all. It feels more like a Disney Studios film.
It's just like an ensemble, like, hey, we're going on this big adventure.
Did you watch Raya and the Last Dragon?
No.
Okay.
I don't-
If
you know
anyone
me, animated don't really do it.
I know. If anyone's a Disney fan, this feels like Raya and the Last Dragon. It just feels like it rips through at crazy speed. Like next thing to get to the next bit, the next MacGuffin, and then it just finishes. And yeah, it's genuinely Interstellar for kids. It feels like the big bad guy Zurg,
Oh, yeah.
is Buzz Lightyear from a different timeline come back to prevent the Buzz Lightyear that we are with from not having the life that old Buzz Lightyear wants to have.
This seems like a lot for kids.
It's pretty fucking crazy.
Is Chris Evans... Because obviously
He's
it's not
pretty
Tim
good.
Allen.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's so it starts with an opening thread as well of in 1995 Andy went to see a movie about a spaceman this is that movie. So finally answering what it is.
Yeah.
In the Toy Story universe,
This is a movie.
This is a
in the Toy
movie
Story.
which then they were like, and the Buzz Lightyear toy isn't based off of the film, from what directors and producers have talked about. That film did well enough in the Toy Story universe to then spawn off like kids cartoon, like Saturday morning kids cartoon,
and
like
so the toy-
a la real Ghostbusters.
So the Tim Allen one is a toy from the cartoon.
Cartoon.
Okay. I kind of like that.
It's pretty cool.
Because like when we first talked about it, I was like, I want Lightyear to end with him crash landing on Earth and becoming a toy. But I knew they were never going to do that. So because they're cowards, Disney.
So Disney, we know you listen.
But then another example of a movie that does too much and goes too fast and just never slows down, and then you just get a headache and then you really want it to be over, is Jurassic World Dominion. And then the movie ends, like the characters have all come together, they do their last thing, and then
The last thing is...
Well, in fact, no, something I was going to ask you actually, sorry. It was because I had to go for a piss at one point. And I...
Did you see Bryce Dallas Howard's hiding from the knife-handed bird dinosaur?
Yes, I did see that.
So that sequence... Actually, you know what? There you go. Here's my single slither, actually. I found it.
Here's the thing that Gary liked.
Bryce Dallas
Settle
Howard, they finally remembered what makes a good Jurassic Park sequence, which is humans being terrified of dinosaurs. Bryce Dallas Howard gets chased by, I don't know what the fuck the dinosaur is, but this knife-handed, Freddy Krueger-esque bird dinosaur.
A turkey that's like the size of a double-decker bus, but it has knives for hands.
It's Edward Scissorhands turkey bird.
It's mental.
It's crazy. It's the weirdest looking fucking thing. I don't know if it's a real dinosaur. I don't know if there was some dinosaur freak in the entire world who was sitting there and was like, holy shit, it's the Mega Gogologoboff. It's my favorite dinosaur and it's finally in Jurassic World Dominion. My life is complete. I don't know. And if you're out there and you're listening to this, good on you, pal. Well, I'm glad you were happy with it.
Apparently the dinosaur person they had working this movie to like give them dinosaurs to put in it was from Glasgow. So maybe he was just off his head on Smack and Bucky and making shit up. He's just got in a bag of gear.
Hey, if you're listening to this podcast, pal, what you doing? What you did?
What you did, your son? What's with the knife bird dinosaur thing?
Bryce Dallas Howard gets chased by that dinosaur and does the whole like just creeping away from it. And I liked it because was the dinosaur blind? Because it shows you its white eye. It might have been blind in one eye. Anyway, it's sniffing her out. And to get out of it, she goes underwater into this kind of murky, gross puddle. And it's like, it's a really good scene,
It's a good shot.
Like, now
like,
that I'm thinking about it, it's a pretty good scene.
But the problem is the lead up to that scene is so dumb.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just like, they're on the plane's coming down.
They're on the plane's a piece of shit. The pilot's like, oh, we need to eject, but only that seat ejects, and I only have one parachute. And Chris Pratt's like, why? And she's like, well, because I never have passengers. And he's like, all right, well, Bryce Dallas Howard. And to the pilot is like, you okay with her? Actually, does he even check? I don't think he does. He's just like, well, you're going to be safe, and pulls the fucking eject. And the pilot, I don't think it shows you this, but I assume the pilot was like, what the fuck, man? This is my... That was my fucking ejector seat, you dick. I assume. I don't know.
I like that when Chris Pratt explains it to her, he's like, right, so you're going to get ejected out because you need to go save her because one of us has to survive. And then it just cuts to Bryce Dallas Howard and she just, not matching the tone of the scene at all, just goes, oh, what? And then he just pulls the lever and she goes. And I'm just like, what? And then it's got this really bad shot of her, like she's clearly on a soundstage, but it's like it's her in this, just going, it just looks so bad.
It's one of those moments that you can tell they thought like, oh, and then she pulled like the parachute will come out, and then pterodactyls will shred the parachute, and someone was like, yeah, that's fucking cool. And on paper, sounds really fucking cool. And then you watch it play out, and you're like, nah, it's dumb.
It looks stupid.
And the only reason it's dumb is because then she's like, oh, my parachute. Pops the second parachute.
Yep, everything's fine.
So I was like, why go through the rigmarole of it all? Anyway,
but then that's
the
rigmarole.
dinosaur's over the fucking water, screams at the water, and it goes that half under, half above, and she's there just like, fuck.
It's a decent shot.
It's a decent shot.
Which is not a thing you can say much about Jurassic World Dominion. Because I'd said this to you before, the reason I think Fallen Kingdom's at least better than the other two is with the director J.A. Buona, he had a really good visual eye. So when you look at that movie, there's some really great shots in it.
Yeah.
There's some really like stuff with dinosaurs that is cool to look at. The first one and the third one are just plain washed out static shots of just like, here's a dinosaur, here's some scenery, here's your character standing in a line like fucking morons. Just like,
again, because I don't mind the first one as much as you hate it. The first one, the problem that the first Jurassic World has is that it forgets what people want to see, which is dinosaurs. So
it rips the magic out of it.
So, and I said this to Caboose when we came out of the cinema just there. The first Jurassic Park, the first time you hear the
And you go
is
through
when
the
you
big
see
doors and just like
big doors and then dinosaurs, and
yeah.
it's kind of like you're from the human's point of view, and it's like dinosaurs are awesome. Look, they're here. They do move in herds. It's nice. Jurassic World loses that because the first time you hear the big swell of music, the kid runs out, and it blows past the kid, and it just shows you like
a theme park.
and it's like da da da, and it's like I don't care about a theme park.
The whole point is they don't care about the theme park. It's about the majesty and the magic of fucking dinosaurs.
Nature. This film loses it even more. Every time you hear the Jurassic Park doo-doo-doo is when the humans have done something to like applaud themselves. It becomes victory music.
Yeah, it's like, hey, here's Jeff Goldblum and Sam Neill. Do. It's like, no, it's not the point of the fucking music John Williams made, you idiot. Did you like here is what like when Colin Trevorrow took over Jurassic World, I, of course, being a massive Jurassic Park fan, I was like, I read and watched everything to see what was being said and lead up to the movie. And Colin Trevorrow was like, I'm just like all of you. When I was a kid, Jurassic Park was so influential. I loved it. All these moments. Spielberg created the most magical experience. Then I saw Jurassic World, and I found out that Colin Trevorrow is a liar because he never saw the original Jurassic Park movies. I'm convinced he's never watched them because if he had, that's not what he would have made. Because like he just fails at every point to understand the point of what Spielberg, John Crichton, and those creators of those movies and stories were trying to do. Where this one, he's just like, hey, capitalism and theme parks and just like dinosaurs doing... here's a bigger dinosaur.
Look,
one. The
big
big dinosaur
visible.
Fighting the other big dinosaur. Do you like that? Look, they're fighting.
I found the other bit. I said I had two things, I think, as a joke at the beginning, but I think I've just found my other one. The other bit I actually really liked is the intro. So that fake news, the fake documentary about 30 years ago, Jurassic Park had to close down due to the tragic accident that happened. And then 20 years later, they created Jurassic World, and it shows you a bit of news footage, and it's like closed since 2015 due to the accident, whatever. I liked all that, and like the Megalodon coming out and like ruining that fishing boat, and then it cuts to a news article. And I was kind of like, if this is the whole film, I don't think it's going to be. I got my hopes up for the previous one, but if this is the whole film where it's kind of... doesn't need to stick in the documentary format, but just exploring how the world is dealing with
the effect of dinosaurs in the
real world. I'm kind of down for it, and then it loses it
because there was a short
that very short documentary that opening 3-minute 5-minute crawl. Yeah, I dug it. I was like, this is good.
Very much feel like that was added in. Like later on in post.
Oh yeah, because the CGI in that bit, however, although I liked it, the CGI in that bit was fucking bad. There's the bit where the dinosaur's like pecking at a thing as a train goes by in the background, and it looks like the dinosaur. I'm sure had like a black shadow around it where you can see they've placed it in and just not fucking lighted it.
Looked like something you would see in like a PS2 game or something.
Yeah, it looked real crap.
But I guess if they didn't have that, the movie starts with just Bryce Dallas Howard trying to free some dinosaurs.
What was that bit?
Because this is the problem with Bryce Dallas Howard's character. Because this is what I was talking about a long time ago about the lack of character.
Trying to absolve her
sins. We have been on a we've had no direction whatsoever. We've just hit the ground running.
I tried.
Like, Bryce Dallas Howard's character, since the first one, has always been trying to redeem herself for what she did in the first one. And in so the second movie is...
And the biggest crime in the first one, let's not forget, is ignoring her aunts to her nephews. Family matters, Gav.
Oh, okay. I thought it was running in high heels thing because everyone goes fucking mental over that, even though it's the most insignificant thing ever. But
it's such a weird, But she ran in heels. She outran a T-Rex. It's like, yeah, well, you're not annoyed about the fact that the T-Rex is there. Like the bigger leap in logic that they've created an actual. I
can't believe
T-Rex?
They made a woman run in high heels. There's a dinosaur behind them, people. A dinosaur. Hello? No? Okay, cool. We'll just.
You don't want to pick the thread of. There's a dinosaur that can go invisible, has human level intelligence. You don't want to worry about that. I forgot
the dinosaur could cloak. Like, what the fuck?
Wild.
Also, that scene from the first Jurassic World, I think it's the most like horrendous scene for all of these movies, is where the babysitter woman just gets brutally mauled.
Oh, she gets grabbed by the fucking...
tortured and then killed.
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever.
Does she get eaten by the Megalodon, or is it a pterodactyl?
Yeah, so it's like the pterodactyls attack her, pick her up,
drop her,
peck
her a bit,
attack her, and then try to pick her up again, but then the Megalodon comes out of the water, consuming her and the pterodactyl.
That's it.
And the camera just gleefully sits there and just goes, look. And you're like, she didn't do anything.
She did nothing wrong.
She was just trying to look after some kids.
And like, I know that in Jurassic Park, the lawyer that's there gets killed.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. But at least he's like a snivelly little rat.
Like,
she's an annoying teen, but she's just... That's her crime.
Yeah, it's like...
She's on her phone a bit.
Also, like, with the lawyer... It's
I like. Oh, now that I'm thinking about it, I said it earlier. The crimes of the. So again, the two people that die in this latest film, one's a villain. That's fine, and the other guy, his crime is riding a scooter. Don't do that.
how
you
dare
fucking
you,
dweebs.
idiot in Malta riding your scooter. Well, let's not forget the other guy has the long stringy hair and the leather jacket. He gets eaten in the wrestling dinosaur pit thing.
Oh yeah. He's villain number one though. Villain number one dies, and then the second death is Scooter guy. Third death is Steve Jobs, Tim Coon's guy.
Yeah.
And then I said to Dave, I think that's all the deaths. That's all the dinosaur deaths you see in the entire film.
It's the only one I can think of.
You see dinosaurs attacking people, but you don't get the sense that they've been like actually killed. Because there's the laser scene, but she points and the dinosaurs come out and they're like, sorry man, again, just jumping about like a fucking jackrabbit. The scene with the laser pointers, she's like boop, 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 and the dinosaurs will come out and the four guys with guns are just standing there like, it's like, there are four of you and four dinosaurs. You're trained specialists, shoot them in the fucking head.
Someone do something that isn't
Don't just
pointing at
stand there and
dinosaurs.
wait for the dinosaurs to pounce. What?
This movie again is just like, hey, we've got dinosaurs and we need to do something with them. It's like, but why? It's like, because it's Jurassic World. It's like, well, clearly we don't have any ideas for what to do with dinosaurs, so maybe we just shouldn't bother. Maybe we should have just made another Jason Bourne movie because that's what this wanted to be.
There can't be another one in the. Is there? There can't be. There can't be another one on the slate. Surely.
I mean, if there is, it has to be a fresh team from top to bottom. Get rid of.
What would you
contraband.
want to see? So, and if it follows the Jurassic Park story, they have locked in canon official. Dinosaurs are now just kicking about Earth. So that has to be the next. So what would you do if you were making Jurassic Park? What would you call it?
Jurassic Fart.
No, seriously. If they were like, Gav, look how happy you are with
Nah,
your little
just
fart
shaking her
joke.
head at me.
If they were
why
like,
would
Gav, we want to get you in as the creative director of the next Jurassic movie. I'm not even going to give you a hint. Jurassic blank movie. What are you calling it, and where are you taking it?
Jurassic Forever After, and we're gonna go into the multiverse of dinosaurs because that's the new hip thing. The kids like the multiverses.
They do like their multiverses.
So we're gonna go into we're gonna go back
Fortnite main guy Jonesy will appear in Jurassic Park, the first Jurassic Park film.
Yes. And we're going to do...
And he will take John Hammond and a raptor,
we'll do
give them both
CGI
guns.
CGI
John Hammond, and he'll give a raptor a gun, and a T-Rex, fuck it. The T-Rex and the raptor can come, they're the main guys, and John Hammond.
And we'll go back in time to
And Jeff
fight
Goldblum?
the Nazis. Dinosaurs fighting Nazis. And who's our protagonist? Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
When they go through time, the dinosaurs get voices, and they're voiced by Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who's in the raptor, and Kevin Hart in the T-Rex. Because that's funny. One's big, one's little.
Get it?
Did you see the Super Pets trailer? Because they're in that.
Oh, God, yeah, I saw that.
I don't understand where this Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Kevin Hart being a duo has come from.
Because they even did like Hobbs and Shaw. It was like, Kevin Hart's here. You're like, why? Yeah. It's like, oh, because they're buddies.
Because Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Kevin Hart, there's a thing. I don't like that thing. Stop it.
Like,
just stop it, please.
I
don't
kind of
need
enjoyed it in Jumanji, but...
I think I was already sick of it in Jumanji.
Because Central Intelligence was what it... Like,
was that where it came from?
That's where it started, and then we had Jumanji, then another Jumanji, then Hobbs and Shaw... And now
because it feels like what they're trying to do is follow the like, oh, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, they love each other. Look at their bromance on social media. Yeah, cool. And then another social media team are like, we need another one. Look how well Ryan Reynolds is doing. His numbers are up. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, what about Kevin Hart? And Dwayne The Rock Johnson, like, I've never spoken. Like, it doesn't matter.
You're best friends.
You're big.
Now.
He's little. You're gonna make fun of each other, and you're gonna make 1 million likes.
The TikToks are gonna go wild. But then that brings up an interesting point, is when the Jurassic World movies started, who was the big name that they got in? Like, who was the hot commodity? Chris Pratt. And over the course of these 3 movies, we have watched his career die.
I think Chris Pratt's bored of them. Chris Pratt didn't feel like he was...
But I also think we're bored of Chris Pratt. Because Chris Pratt now, like, the character that he plays in this movie is now the character he plays in movies, which is, I am generic...
He's less quippy in this. So because we have Chris Pratt, we have Chris Pratt Star-Lord, we have Chris Pratt Dinosaur Man.
Yes.
Chris Pratt Dinosaur Man is Star-Lord, I agree, with less jokes.
Because, I mean, in the first one, he was more or less like a...
Oh, the first one, he was Star-Lord. He was... it's like Chris Pratt was like, all right, that's me checking out from the Marvel filming. Guys, I'll be back in 2 days for the next scenes. Cool. Went in across the lot, walked onto the Jurassic World set and was like, hey guys, I'm in. And they're like, all right, are you doing like serious? He's like, nah, I think I'm just going to keep doing what I was doing across in the Marvel lot. So quips and shit.
I'm just going to do like, I'm the hero, but I also make funny little jokes about like fucking
and now he's
stuff.
super serious and a dad.
And now he's just like, don't do that. Listen to your father. And then I'm going to make you fall asleep because I'm so boring all the time.
The B, again, I know we spoke about it briefly, the B plot of Clone Girl learning to love herself, where that all starts when, like, Bryce Dallas Howard is like, you can't cross the bridge because people will see you, and she's like, I'm not even a real human, I don't have a human life. And then Chris Pratt turns up, and Bryce Dallas Howard is like, can you go speak to her? And he's like, all right, fine. So they're sitting having family dinner around a fire pit, and she's
they're all laughing. Life is so great in our white family, living in the woods.
Bryce Dallas Howard's like, speak to the girl. Chris Pratt's all right. Hey, you can't cross the bridge. Oh, but there's a whole world out there. And he's like, yeah, well, you need to stay safe. He said, why? Am I not allowed life? He's like, you're not allowed freedom. And he just shouts it. What?
Bryce Dallas Howard gives this look of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and
then
she storms off, and then Bryce Dallas Howard is like, I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to speak to you as a level to level and explain to you why she's upset. It's like, just speak to the girl about this stuff. You don't need Chris Pratt to do it. If you know all the problems, just have a conversation.
Do they ever wrap that up, the whole, or did they just, like the rest of the movie, just go, oh, I guess we would like each other now and we're a family?
The girl watches the mum. The girl finds out, I told you, the girl finds out that she actually came from a vagina.
Yeah.
And then she sees Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, and Chris Pratt winks at her, and Bryce Dallas Howard smiles, and she's like, when she's getting her hand done up at the end, the emergency person is like, give me a minute, and then you can go to your family. And she looks across, and then they look back, and they wink, and she smiles, and she's like, I guess I am a human.
And they are my family.
And they are my mum and dad.
And in the worst moment of the film, Sam Neill and Laura Dern kiss. And I was just like,
it
no.
was so awkward.
Why have you got to try and make a relationship out of these two characters?
It was so weird.
I don't like to see Sam Neill kiss.
When Laura Dern turns up at the beginning with Alan Grant, and I'm sorry, I'm so sorry for everyone that knows these people by their actors or their characters, because I'm just chopping and changing.
Yeah, you get what you
get.
But
when Alan Grant and Ellie Statler turn up, and he's like, oh, I didn't think you were going to be in my tent. And there's a photo, a completely innocuous photo of them just like chumming about. And considering the events of Jurassic Park 1 and 3.
They're both in 3, yeah.
Yeah.
But she doesn't go to the island. She's
but
with
and
Mark.
it's made it very clear that like they're still friends.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm going to hide the photo. And it's like, why? It's not like... It's more than understandable that you would have a lifelong connection with someone that you went through hell with.
Yeah, because like in the first movie, they're pals, and it's not really like a, well, they won't. No, they're pals. They're colleagues. What are you looking at the glass like that for?
I was just checking what the lines were.
Oh,
quarter pint, half pint.
Yeah, because I went to an ale festival, and you can either get a half pint or a full pint.
Why would you ever get a half pint?
Because some things are only sold in half pints because of the
Buy
percentage.
2 of them.
Well, you can do that, yeah. But I didn't.
You should have.
Well, I just drank pints, because, pints. But then in Jurassic Park 3, that's going to be an interesting, just like, Laura Dern is married to a guy called Mark and has 2 kids. And Samuel comes over for dinner, and it's just a case of like, we're pals.
Yep.
I know your kids. I like Mark. Seems nice. All this type of stuff. And again, there's no hint of, well, will they, won't they? He's like, no, they're pretty.
They're just mates.
And then in this one, it's just like, oh, I have to have sex. I'm so alone.
What happened?
Please, Laura Dern.
What happened
Mark's
to you and the
gone.
kids?
Excellent.
Mark?
Fuck me.
It didn't work. I just
I'll
want to
go
be like
to the
you,
big
Alan
secret
Grant.
base with you. Let's fuck in the Locust prison.
Oh, it's fucking... another thing that just reminded me. The Locust prison, when evil Steve Jobs, Tim Coombs guy is like, I'm gonna...
You can say Tim Coombe. It's Tim Cook.
Tim Cook. I'll be honest, I don't even know who Tim Cook is. I was just copying you. I thought you said Tim Coombs. I'm going to look up Tim Cook.
Tim Cook, he's the CEO of Apple. He took over after Steve Jobs died.
Tim Cook.
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah. He looks exactly...
Oh, that's way better than Steve. It's actually him.
I told you. That's why I said it. What do you think I was just fucking about?
That's insane. Why would they do that?
Because that's the new bad guy in movies now is big...
Tim Cook rather than Steve Jobs?
Well, it's either Elon Musk or Tim Cook are now how you, like, make your villains in movies.
I mean, sorry guys, if you're like me and you've seen Jurassic World and you're like, Oh, I don't know who Gav's talking about, Tim Cook. Just Google him, because it's ridiculous how much they've made that guy look
exactly like
exactly like him. Sorry, Tim Cook. Yeah, when Tim Cook's like, oh, you know what? My evil plan is not working out. BD Wong's turned against me. I'm going to scorched earth, set fire and get rid of all the evidence. Step 1, delete a bunch of files on my personal laptop by dragging them into recycle bins.
Yes.
That's step 1 of my
Tim Cook,
exonerate myself.
This head of a massive tech company doesn't know how to delete files on his laptop.
That first step of exonerate himself. Second step, I'm going to set fire to the locust, which he does.
And the rain.
And the what? Oh, and the rain. Yeah. And he sets fire to the locust, and I was like, all right, cool. So all these locusts, the last locust swarm are confined to this little glass room, and he's going to set fire to it. Cool. Sets fire to it. The locusts get on fire. And then just leave through an open roof top hatch.
I don't, because I needed to go pee around this
Is this
point.
the bit you missed?
So I saw them catch fire and then go up the vent.
Yep.
And then come out of it, and then they're like in the sky, and the characters kind of look over, and I went, I'm gonna go for a pish, because this is just the dumb just keeps getting dumber, because somehow the locusts in the point where they're supposed to get eradicated escape, which makes no sense.
So yeah, Tim Cook's I'm gonna press the eradicate locust button, which is fine, but apparently the locust could just fly out the top the entire fucking time.
Yeah, apparently the eradicate locust button is instead the free the burning locusts to then set
fire to them and then let them
park.
loose. Yeah.
And then it starts to burn down the park, and then so all the dinosaurs get called back to the very center for safety, but all of them are there together, so that's not very safe.
Which brings us to when I was at my peak anger just out of the movie. Brings us back to our cold open. Dinosaur wrestling pit. Knife hands dinosaur comes back. Well, sorry, no. T-Rex fights the Megasaurus.
Gets knocked out.
Gets knocked out by, There's also, inexplicably, there's also a spotlight that is spinning around and just like lighting up key moments.
Yeah.
It's not manned by anyone that I could tell. It's just at random pointing at things at the moment you need it. Like, I don't know if they would like, we need a bit of light here. Let's CGI some light onto these moments. But anyway, the T-Rex gets knocked out. Then Knife Hands turns up, and the T-Rex and Knife Hands tag team the Megasaurus to death by the T-Rex pushes it onto the Knife Hands.
Yeah.
It's a Wolverine dinosaur. I just realized.
Spotlight.
As the spotlight's like, hey guys, look, just in case you wanted to see this in the horrendously dark, fiery. We did horrendously dark, fiery in the second film. We're doing it again. More fire, more dark.
This is the
heroes. All the people fly away as the Knife Hands and the T-Rex do they classic Jurassic Park roar. Lightning strikes to light the final scene. Cut. End. Boring human shit. Everyone, let's go. Caboose was like, I'll check and see if there's an end credit scene. I said, no, Caboose. If there is, I don't care. I'm leaving. And I walked out. I am done talking about this film. Peace out.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Meandering Movie Podcast. We just discussed kind of Jurassic World. We more or less just ranted, shouted. It was a bit madness. Gary has now just gone into the lounge position. So, I mean, Nash, you want to tag in, take over the mic, and we can close this out together? No, okay, she doesn't want to do that. That's fine. So hit us up on any social medias. Go down into the description. There are links for everything. We will be back soon-ish. We'll do Hoodwinked soon at some point because we know we've promised that. The competition is still going on, so get your celebrity lookalike pictures in and your drawings of us, and I want you to send me sweets. So send me sweets. So you email me. Figure it out.
Try to get me in. I'm out. I told you. I'm done.
Okay. So thank you.
Fuck me off. I'm out of energy. I hate it. I hate you, Colin Trevorrow. I hate Jurassic Park now. That's what you've done to me.
Bye.
I hate it.
Hello, wonderful people. Yeah, you thought the episode was over, but guess what? Gary still had more to say. I had stopped recording. I'd switched it all off, and then Gary started talking again, so I turned it back on, and this is just like an extra thing that we picked up from that. So yeah, enjoy more of Gary.
People want to see the shit they remember, and they've just done it with this one. They're like, we'll bring back the fucking 3 originals. Why wouldn't they bring back the kids? I feel like there's your mind. Bring the 2 kids back from Jurassic Park and see what they're up to.
I just started recording.
How much of it did you get?
Not much of it, sadly.
I'm going to go through it again.
No, it's fine.
It's just fucking wild. Bring the kids back, though. For real. Bring the kids back and let them do... I don't know. I just think it's... We're in a... Like you said, the genre where it's like, oh, it's a movie about an action film, but it's not Jurassic Park. It's... just change the genre of the film. Give me like a PTSD horror film where the kid... Especially now, where the kids are dealing with like... Apparently the dinosaurs are on the loose. What, the ones from Jurassic Park? Yeah, they're fucking out. And then the kid has to like... Fend like Home Alone. Home Alone. Give me Home Alone where the two kids...
bring back the Velociraptors and put them near those kids, because those kids are going to be traumatized for what they went through in the first one to escape the Velociraptors, because you got them like screaming and everything, like, and running away. Like, there's a movie right there you can make, but instead it's, let's go back to, I guess, an island of a park of some kind.
Another jungle.
And the dinosaurs get loose in the park, and then we just do the same thing. Then the movie ends with, the dinosaurs are all good now, and then we just do it again and again. It's all these franchises from the 80s and 90s now. It's like, it's your Terminators, it's your Aliens, it's your Predators, it's your Jurassic Park.
Bring them back. Bring them all back. Bring everything back.
But
lose the original message and bring it back.
It's your Star Wars as well.
For pure money.
They're all creatively bankrupt. They had one good idea. They can't come up with any more good ideas, so they just do the same thing over and over. And then every so often they go, hey, do you remember these characters from the last one? Well, they're back, because that's the only way we're going to get your butts in these seats, because Fallen Kingdom, people were just like, fuck this.
It must be. I don't know. Is it like a company-wide thing where it's just like new IPs just don't do as well? Like, because it must be that. It must just be that, like the diagnostics. It's like anytime we try and introduce a new IP, it doesn't do as well as things that are established. It must be. It must just not be worth the time, cost, and sink to establish a new IP compared to the instant cash grab that is.
It's a safer bet.
Bring back the three. Spend the money getting Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern and Sam Neill in, because it will guaranteed make money rather than something new that's an interesting concept.
Because you can that's your trailer right there, which is your big stinger of these three characters, and then your trailer's like, they thought they were done with it. They're back. Boom.
They're back.
Shows the three of them, and then it like shows one of them saying one of their lines in the first one. People go, I remember that.
I'm going to pay money. I'm going to
go see that now. Instead of, here's a brand new thing you've never seen before. It's just, it's what we talked about. It's,
you're not watching Miss Marvel on Disney Plus, are you?
No,
I didn't. Because you're done. I would say as well, don't bother with Miss Marvel. I don't think it's absolutely not your cup of tea. But weirdly, in the latest episode, there's a scene where she's like in a kitchen, because there's like a wedding at a mosque, and she goes into the kitchen. It's kind of an industrial looking kitchen, because it's for a mosque. And the bad guys come in, and I said to Hannah, I was like, why are they doing the Jurassic Park dinosaur scene? And I was like, what? And I was like, I swear to God, is the Jurassic Park raptor scene, but with human bad guys chasing Kamala Khan. You're going to try and get it up on YouTube in a minute, because it's mental how close to it is.
I mean, yeah, I feel like the target audience for Miss Marvel aren't going to really get Jurassic Park.
I don't think it's a straight reference. It's shot, lit, and feels exactly the same.
Okay, maybe whoever made it just loves Jurassic Park. I want to try and do my Jurassic Park.
Skyscraper itis.
Well, this is the second ending to the podcast. I'm going to have done like a beep, an explanation, then this. Yeah, are you done? Have you got anything else?
I think I'm tapped.
Okay.
I hated it.
I mean, did you like the first three Jurassic Park movies?
To my memory.
And then didn't like any of the Jurassic World movies?
I didn't mind Jurassic World 1 and 2. But this I hated. I hated it.
I didn't hate it just because I was so...
You was just ready.
I was already done. Like, after Jurassic World, I'm like, cool, I'm done. And then Fallen Kingdom, I'm just like, And then this, I'm just like... I sat there... It kind of like with Rise of Skywalker when we talked about that. You came out hot, and I came out like... I mean, I was done long ago.
It's the difference between us, Gav. I maintain hope. I go into every one of these things with a little iota of hope, thinking, you know what, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch it on its own merits, and I'm just battered. Whereas you do the smart thing, which is go in and fully expecting it to be the same shit they shovel out as they have done for the last 4 films.
Like, we're both old at this point. We've been doing this for a long time.
I know. In the film, when it was like 30 decades ago? No, 3 decades ago.
30 decades.
3 centuries.
Yeah,
Jurassic Park. There's your next film. It's set 300 years in the future. Dinosaurs in space. Jason X this bad
It's
boy.
going to be dinosaurs with, like, they'll have, like... No, we're not doing this. Yeah. We're old now. They've just been doing this for a long time. It's the same with all these franchises. Like, Star Wars is dead. Jurassic is dead. Terminator's dead. like soon Marvel will be, like all these big franchises that we watched when we were young are dead, and soon I will be. This has been the Meandering Movie Podcast. I feel grim now because there's nothing left in life for me to look forward to. Sorry, Nas. Goodbye, everyone.
I've been Gary. Thanks for listening. I'm on Twitch. Twitch.tv. Twitch.com/Gwario. GWARIO. Jurassic Park.
I'm just Gavin.
Dinosaurs. Give me your best dinosaur roar.
Roar.
No, go on. Give it an actual try.
No, I'm not going to.
It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. So